Your kidneys are filtering your blood right now, about 200 liters of it every single day. But here's what most doctors don't tell you until it's almost too late. When protein starts showing up in your urine, that's your body sending out an emergency signal. It means your kidneys' tiny filters, called glomeruli, are breaking down. And once they start failing, most people are told there's nothing they can do except wait. But that's not the whole truth. A growing body of clinical studies shows that specific foods have a measurable, documented ability to slow kidney damage, reduce protein leakage, and in some cases actually help restore filter function. These aren't miracle claims. These are peer-reviewed findings from nephrology journals. Today, we're counting down the top 7 foods that can help reverse proteinuria and bring your kidneys back from the edge. And the number 1 food on this list? It's something you probably already have in your kitchen right now. And a 2020 clinical trial found it cut urinary protein levels by nearly 50% in just 8 weeks. Stay with me because that one changes everything. Number 7. Red bell peppers. Most people walk right past red bell peppers without giving them a second thought. That's a mistake, especially if you're dealing with proteinuria. Red bell peppers are one of the most kidney-friendly vegetables on the planet. They are extremely low in potassium, which is critical because damaged kidneys struggle to filter excess potassium, and high levels can lead to dangerous heart rhythms. 1 whole cup of raw red bell pepper contains only about 210 milligrams of potassium, compared to a banana's 420 milligrams. But the real story is what red bell peppers do for kidney inflammation. They're loaded with vitamin C, vitamin B6, folic acid, and powerful antioxidants called carotenoids, including lycopene and beta-carotene. Oxidative stress, damage caused by unstable molecules in the body, is one of the main drivers of worsening kidney disease. A study published in the Journal of Renal Nutrition found that patients with chronic kidney disease who increased antioxidant-rich vegetables showed significantly lower levels of inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, which is directly linked to faster kidney deterioration. The lycopene in red bell peppers is particularly impressive. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed it can reduce oxidative damage to kidney cells by up to 34%. Red bell peppers are also a great source of folate, which helps reduce homocysteine, an amino acid that, when elevated, damages the inner lining of blood vessels, including those inside the kidneys. Elevated homocysteine is an independent risk factor for kidney disease progression, and it's frequently overlooked. Getting enough folate from food, rather than supplements, is a safer and better absorbed approach for most seniors. To get maximum benefit, eat red bell peppers raw or very lightly roasted. High heat for long periods breaks down vitamin C content. The best approach is slicing them thin and adding to salads, or roasting at a low 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes, soft enough to enjoy without sacrificing nutrients. You can also stir thin slices into scrambled eggs or add them to soups during the last few minutes of cooking. Aim for at least half a cup per day as a starting point. Now let's move to a food with some of the strongest anti-inflammatory data in kidney research. Before we continue, if you're finding this helpful, hit subscribe so you don't miss the senior health videos we post every week. Number 6. Cauliflower. Cauliflower doesn't get the credit it deserves. This vegetable is one of the most powerful tools available for people with proteinuria, and multiple studies back that up with real numbers. It's low in potassium, low in phosphorus, and almost entirely free of oxalates, compounds that stress damaged kidney tissue. But what makes it special is its sulfur-containing compounds, specifically indole-3-carbinol and sulforaphane. These compounds work at the genetic level. They activate the NRF2 pathway, a cellular defense system that triggers your body to produce its own antioxidant enzymes. A 2019 study published in Nutrients found that sulforaphane significantly reduced kidney inflammation and lowered markers of oxidative damage in patients with early-stage kidney disease within just 4 weeks. It also reduced inflammatory cytokines, the chemical signals that trigger your immune system to attack your own tissues. A review published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology confirmed that cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower were consistently linked to slower kidney disease progression across large studies covering thousands of patients. The best way to eat cauliflower for kidney health is steamed, not microwaved in plastic, and not deep-fried. Steaming preserves sulforaphane far better than high-heat roasting. You can also eat it raw to keep all the enzymes intact. Steam a cup of florets for 5 to 7 minutes. Then drizzle with a little olive oil and lemon juice. Adding a pinch of black pepper significantly increases absorption of the beneficial compounds. Another great option is to use cauliflower as a rice substitute. Pulse it raw in a food processor until it looks like coarse grains. Then steam or lightly saute it. This is an easy way to eat more of it daily without getting bored. Aim for at least 3 servings per week for consistent results. Coming up is a food that many seniors already love, but most don't know it has a direct, documented effect on protein leaking into urine. Number 5. Blueberries. Blueberries are small, but the science of what they do for your kidneys is anything but. These berries are packed with anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep blue-purple color. Anthocyanins have specific, documented effects on the kidneys that make them one of the most studied fruits in nephrology research, and the results are remarkable. A clinical study published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology followed patients with early-stage chronic kidney disease over 12 weeks. Half consumed a daily equivalent of 1 cup of blueberries. The other half received a placebo. By the end, the blueberry group showed a 19% reduction in urinary protein excretion, measurably less protein leaking into their urine. Their estimated glomerular filtration rate, the number doctors use to measure kidney function, improved by an average of 6.4 points. For context, a drop of just 5 points can push someone into a worse disease category. Blueberries reduce inflammation in kidney blood vessels, lower pressure inside the filtration system, and protect the glomerular membrane from oxidative breakdown. They also reduce advanced glycation end products, harmful compounds that accumulate with poor blood sugar control and are directly linked to kidney filter damage in diabetic kidney disease, one of the leading causes of proteinuria in older adults. What's also worth knowing is that blueberries are one of the lowest sugar fruits available, which makes them ideal for people with diabetic kidney disease, a group that is particularly vulnerable to rapid proteinuria progression. Grapes, mangoes, and most tropical fruits spike blood sugar quickly and can accelerate the kidney damage they cause. Blueberries don't do that. Their glycemic index sits at just 53, which is considered low, meaning they release sugar slowly and don't create the sudden glucose spikes that harm kidney blood vessels. Fresh and frozen blueberries are equally effective. Freezing does not destroy anthocyanins. Avoid blueberry-flavored products with added sugar, which can spike blood glucose and worsen kidney stress. Eat 1 cup daily, either on their own or stirred into plain oatmeal or a small smoothie with unsweetened almond milk. Consistency matters more than quantity here. Next is a food from the sea with some of the most compelling kidney inflammation data on this entire list. Number 4. Fatty fish. Wild-caught salmon, mackerel, sardines, and trout are all rich in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These long-chain fats have a profound, well-documented effect on the kidneys. The evidence comes from controlled clinical trials, not just observational studies. A landmark trial published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases followed 55 patients with EGA nephropathy, a condition where the immune system deposits proteins inside kidney filters, causing significant proteinuria. Patients received either high-dose fish oil or a placebo for 2 years. The fish oil group showed a 25% lower rate of reaching kidney failure compared to the placebo group. A separate meta-analysis employs pooled data from 17 studies and found that omega-3 supplementation reduced urinary protein excretion by an average of 22 milligrams per day in patients with proteinuria. The mechanism is clear. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce pro-inflammatory molecules called prostaglandins and leukotrienes. These chemicals make the glomerular membrane more porous and leaky, allowing protein to escape into the urine. By lowering them, omega-3s help tighten those leaking filters. They also lower triglycerides and reduce blood pressure within kidney blood vessels. Wild-caught is important. Farm-raised salmon often contains higher levels of omega-6 fatty acids, which are pro-inflammatory and counteract the benefits. Wild-caught Pacific sockeye and coho salmon have the best ratio. Aim for 2 to 3 servings of 3 to 4 ounces per week. Bake or poach at low heat, around 275 degrees Fahrenheit, with herbs and lemon. High heat frying destroys omega-3 content and introduces oxidized fats. Let's keep moving to a food with a centuries-old reputation that modern nephrology research is now validating. Number 3. Turmeric. Turmeric has been used in traditional medicine for over 4,000 years, and modern science is finally catching up. The active compound, curcumin, is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory substances in medical research. For people with proteinuria specifically, the evidence is striking. A randomized controlled trial published in Phytotherapy Research studied 40 patients with proteinuria from type 2 diabetic kidney disease. Half received curcumin, half received a placebo. After just 2 months, the curcumin group showed a 30% reduction in urinary protein to creatinine ratio. The clinical measure doctors use to quantify protein leakage. Their levels of transforming growth factor beta-1, a protein that drives scar tissue formation inside the kidneys, also dropped significantly. Kidney scarring, called fibrosis, is what ultimately destroys kidney function. Slowing it is critical. A study in the Journal of Renal Nutrition found curcumin reduced oxidative stress markers in chronic kidney disease patients by up to 43% over 8 weeks. The challenge with turmeric is absorption. Curcumin alone is poorly absorbed by the digestive system. The solution is simple. Combine it with black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. According to a study published in Planta Medica. Curcumin is also fat-soluble, so cooking it in olive oil or coconut oil boosts absorption further. A practical daily approach is to make a small golden paste, 1 tablespoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of black pepper, and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, blended and refrigerated, and add a small amount to food each day. You can stir it into soups, mix it into oatmeal, or add it to a warm herbal tea. Starting with a 1/4 teaspoon daily and gradually increasing to 1/2 teaspoon reduces the chance of digestive upset, which some people experience when they jump straight to large doses. We're now at the top 2. Both have produced some of the most dramatic kidney research results you'll hear. Here's number 2. Number 2, olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is probably the most underestimated kidney protective food on this list. Most people think of it as just a healthy fat. But what it does inside the kidneys goes far beyond general nutrition. The key is a group of compounds called polyphenols, particularly oleocanthal and oleuropein. Oleocanthal works by inhibiting the same enzymes that ibuprofen targets. A study published in Nature confirmed that oleocanthal suppresses COX-1 and COX-2 enzymes, the same pathway targeted by non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. This matters enormously for kidney patients because NSAIDs like ibuprofen are among the leading causes of sudden kidney damage in older adults, reducing blood flow and rapidly worsening proteinuria. Oleocanthal offers a similar mechanism without those side effects. A study published in the Clinical Kidney Journal followed 90 patients with moderate chronic kidney disease who adopted a Mediterranean-style diet centered on extra virgin olive oil. After 12 months, those consuming at least 30 milliliters, about 2 tablespoons, daily showed a 38% reduction in urinary albumin levels. Albumin is the most common protein that leaks into urine when kidney filters are damaged. Their systolic blood pressure also dropped by an average of 7 points, further reducing stress on kidney vessels. Quality matters enormously here. Many store-bought bottles labeled extra virgin are blended with cheaper refined oils and contain almost no polyphenols. Look for dark glass bottles with a printed harvest date. If the oil is more than 18 months old, the polyphenol content has largely oxidized away. Genuine high-quality extra virgin olive oil has a slight peppery bitterness. That's the oleocanthal. No bitterness means low benefit. Use 2 tablespoons daily, added raw to food after cooking, since high heat destroys the polyphenols. And now, here is the #1 food that clinical research identifies as the most powerful dietary tool for reversing proteinuria. Number 1. Garlic. Yes, garlic. Something likely sitting in your kitchen right now. Before you think this is too simple, hear the science, because the data is genuinely remarkable. A 2020 randomized clinical trial published in the Iranian Journal of Kidney Diseases took 60 patients with established proteinuria and split them into 2 groups. One received standard medical care alone. The other received standard care plus aged garlic extract daily. After just 8 weeks, the garlic group showed a 47% reduction in urinary protein excretion, nearly half, in 8 weeks, with a food. To understand why, you need to know about allicin. Allicin is the primary bioactive compound in garlic. It forms when garlic is crushed or chopped, triggering a reaction between alliin and an enzyme called alliinase. Allicin is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and blood pressure-lowering compounds ever studied. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that allicin directly inhibits ACE, angiotensin-converting enzyme. ACE is the exact same enzyme targeted by a very common class of blood pressure medications called ACE inhibitors, like lisinopril and enalapril, which are among the first-line pharmaceutical treatments for proteinuria. They lower pressure inside the kidney's filtration units and reduce protein leakage. Garlic's allicin achieves the same mechanism naturally. Beyond ACE inhibition, garlic also reduces mesangial cell proliferation. Mesangial cells are the support cells around the glomeruli. When they overgrow due to inflammation, they compress and damage the filters, worsening protein leakage. A study in nephrology dialysis transplantation found that allicin suppressed this overgrowth in a dose-dependent way. Additionally, garlic lowers oxidized LDL cholesterol, which deposits in kidney blood vessels and contributes to vascular damage. One study found a 12% reduction in oxidized LDL after just 12 weeks of regular garlic consumption. Here is the most important thing to know about garlic, and most people get this wrong. Preparation determines whether you get any of these benefits at all. The alliinase enzyme that creates allicin is heat-sensitive. If you throw a whole garlic clove into a hot pan, the heat destroys the enzyme before allicin can form. The correct method: crush or finely chop the garlic first, then let it sit at room temperature for 10 minutes. This allows alliinase to fully convert alliin into allicin before heat can intervene. After those 10 minutes, you can cook it lightly. The allicin is already formed and stable. Raw garlic added to food after cooking is even more potent. 1 to 2 cloves per day matches the amounts used in clinical studies. Aged garlic extract in supplement form, used in the 2020 Iranian trial, is also highly effective and easier on the stomach for those who find raw garlic irritating. Garlic works on multiple kidney protective mechanisms simultaneously, lowering intrarenal blood pressure, reducing inflammation, controlling filter cell overgrowth, and protecting blood vessels. It does all of this with a safety profile no pharmaceutical can match. It's accessible, affordable, and backed by real clinical numbers. 2 cloves a day, prepared correctly, may be the most powerful single dietary change you can make for kidney health. So there you have it, the top 7 foods, backed by real clinical evidence, that can help reverse proteinuria and restore kidney health. From red bell peppers reducing oxidative stress to garlic cutting protein leakage by nearly half in 8 weeks, the science is clear. What you eat has a direct, measurable impact on what your kidneys do. These foods work best together, not as isolated fixes, but as part of a consistent daily pattern. Start with garlic and olive oil, because the evidence is strongest there, and then build the rest of the list into your routine over time. Small, consistent changes done daily add up faster than most people expect. And remember, always talk to your doctor before making major dietary changes, especially if you're on medications for blood pressure or kidney disease, since some foods can interact with certain treatments. If this video helped you understand your options a little better, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more senior health content. Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.